Welcome to Sibos TV, everybody. I'm now joined by the CEO of SWIFT, Mr. Gottfried Leibbrandt. Nice to see you.
Pleasure.
So let's start with the interesting times that we're living in. You mentioned that in your opening address. You talked about the shift from west to east. You talked about the technological revolution that's bringing in new entrants. All the time, the traditional banks are continuing to be hit by this wave of regulatory compliance. Just elaborate a little bit more on each of those points for people who may have missed that speech.
Shift from west to east, we are seeing a fundamental shift in terms of Western markets declining in relative importance. The big story is 3 billion people joining the middle class in the next 10 years. China, Asia, Africa, going through effectively the change from an agricultural society to the industrial society that we live in. The share of GDP of these countries going from 30 to 70% in a very short time frame. So that in itself is monumental, and that's only one of the three trends. Because at the same time as half the world is going through previous industrial revolutions, we're going through a third one that involves mobile, telecom, internet, computing, everything you want. Everybody's now carrying 2 devices, and some people are carrying 3 devices. Everybody's glued to the screen. It's disrupted industries like publishing, music, and banking, or SWIFT for that matter, is not immune. And then the final one is governments. I think as close as 6 years ago, we all thought that the roles of government was diminishing, corporations would take over, NGOs, and look at what's happening. The governments are back with a vengeance. We live in a geopolitical world. We live in a world of increasing regulation, and that is a huge burden on banks. And it's regulation for financial stability, but it's also regulation in terms of compliance, anti-money laundering, KYC, what I call making sure you don't do business with bad guys. And we see that as an area of challenge and opportunity.
So it sounds like we've got all the ingredients brewing for the perfect storm. We're bracing ourselves for that. Nobody quite knows when that's coming. What is SWIFT focusing its energies on ahead of that?
We're focusing our energies on 2 things. One is to make sure that we continue to deliver on what we were invented for. Secure and reliable messaging, making sure our banks can sleep at night, making sure the network is up and running, and we deliver all of that with continuous dedication. And I think we're pretty good at that. Traffic keeps growing on the network. We're able to give a good price reduction to our members. Our operational record continues to be very strong. So that is all good news. The second thing we're doing is really changing our business and responding to the needs of our customers. And that means, one, we are shifting ourselves from west to east. We've launched a big Asia strategy. We've launched hubs in Asia, both a control center and an operations center. We now have 2 board members from BRIC countries, India and China, joining the board. We've connected 22 market infrastructures in just 5 years, all in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. We're following new currencies like the renminbi. We've launched a joint venture with the Indian banks to really expand our services in India. So a lot of focus on shifting from west to east. We've also really taken all the new technologies, cloud, etc., to completely redo our technology offering, if you will. Alliance, our software, we've added light versions, cloud versions of it. We've added integration capabilities. You can now access SWIFT over the internet, over mobile networks. So a big revolution under the hood there. And then finally, compliance. We have launched a major initiative to help our banks comply. We've rolled out sanction screening for smaller banks, sanctions testing for larger banks. We've always had our RMA offering that allows banks to really be granular about who they do which business with. And we're building a KYC repository for correspondent banking. So all of those are major initiatives to sort of respond to the needs of our customers.
So Gottfried, looking at the week ahead, what should delegates be expecting here at Sibos 2013 in Dubai?
Lots of things. We've really tried to design a program to help them cope with all these challenges, with this perfect storm. So we're here in Dubai, a hub between west and east, a city that didn't really exist in its current form as much as 20 years ago. delegates from all over the world, special focus on Africa and the Middle East, for which we have a dedicated day on Thursday. In terms of technology, there's a whole stream on technology. We've got the InnoTribe now for, I think, the 6th year running. And finally, I would say we have here 7,000 delegates from all over the world, a unique networking opportunity to really debate these issues. So I would say I'm looking forward to a terrific Sibos and meeting all of our community, debating these issues and coping with the challenges.
Can I just ask one more question? You had a very interesting warning for your wife at the opening plenary.
I did.
Tell everybody what that is.
I won't be home for dinner, honey. This is no time to be complacent. We have, with everything we're doing, there's lots of stuff to be done. We have significant challenges. Cybercrime is one to mention. Compliance, in terms of complying with different regulations in different parts of the world. Disintermediation, as I said, we're not immune for disintermediation. We're going to have to think, how do we evolve? So there's quite some work to be done. So the warning was indeed, honey,
yeah.
won't
Mrs.
be home for dinner.
Leibbrandt is a very patient woman.
She's a very patient woman.
Thanks very much. Gottfried Leibbrandt there, the CEO of SWIFT.
Thank you.